obviously extremely happy for our guys. You know, with what they've had to grow through and the experiences they've had, they haven't always been positive. But the persistence and perseverance to stick with it, to stay with the plan, as somebody wrote on the board after the game, trust the process, as they hear me say a billion times, and stay with it. And this group obviously has taken some lumps, had a lot of learning experiences, but the only way you learn from adversity and learn how to handle it is to go through it. And that's how you force growth. And I think this group, obviously tonight defensively, we've seen a lot of really good defensive efforts. This is probably ranks right up there in terms of the job they did. They were engaged. They were, for the most part, right spot, right time. You know, they've grown. They've improved, and that's an area that has been a point of emphasis forever. But with this group, you have to get the experience in order to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And obviously, we saw a lot of what doesn't work at West Lafayette, both from a defensive standpoint and how you need to take care of the ball, what that leads to. So I thought those two areas that have always been staples here, it was good to see those things be pretty good, those couple things. Yeah, I thought we competed at a pretty high level in terms of we were physical. We were, you know, especially down the first half in front of me, I could tell how physical it is in the paint with guys, and I could tell guys were locked in. There was some bodies hitting, and that told me mentally they were there, and we were, for the most part, right there on every chase. You know, we made a couple mistakes on the threes that they got in the first half, that Carson got in the first half, but by and large we were pretty good and where we needed to be, and we needed to make a few more shots. Would have made the first half a little better, but you know, that's how it is. You know, playing the upper echelon of this league, you've got to play. You know, you got to guard them, and you got to do it for 40 minutes, and it's a very typical Big Ten grinder. Well, I think the one thing is he's getting a better understanding, even though he's playing out of position, playing with one arm. I've all heard that many times, but he's starting to really appreciate how important valuing the ball is, how important like I just mentioned, every possession. So being a point guard, it's a lot better to have one turnover than 7, like he had it in West Lafayette. So, you know, and defensively, he went back and forth between a couple guys. I'm sure he'll sleep well tonight because he's pretty exhausted. But he, you know, he's an extremely tough competitor. He practices exactly how he plays. And he never wants to come out of the game. So, you know, I'm glad he's on my team. I know that we'll have him for, you know, a few more years yet. But you know, he's learning and growing. He made a couple mistakes, but he's resilient. He keeps bouncing back.
This team's had a lot of potential all year, and we've been coming up short in a lot of games. So especially getting in a game like that, against a team like that in our home court, to get the win, to push it out there at the end, it means a lot. And a lot of people are giving up on us going into the end of the year, but we've been giving up on ourselves. So we still got a long season ahead of us, so we should keep working.
It was very special, you know, to have Frank and Sam back, who I played with for a year, and Nigel and Bronson, who, you know, we shed blood and tears for 2 years together on the court. It was surreal to have those guys there for this. And as far as Frank's concerned, you know, throughout my college career, he's really, you know, he took me under his wing that first year, and it was very special, you know, just to get this done for those guys. Personally, it was nuts. I mean, I was sweating from the game. I was already yelling. And then once I was surrounded by all the fans and stuff like that, I started to overheat a little bit. I had Shoei jump into my arms. I wasn't expecting that. I thought we were just gonna like embrace each other, but he jumped up and I grabbed him. So just like old times, I guess.
Not really. You know, we were at Indiana and we had a thing for Oladipo. You know, as long as Oladipo and Kaminsky don't play. That's what I was concerned about. So, but they, you know, give them credit. Like Wisconsin fans are great. They're very supportive, and obviously they're having a down year this year. But you know, Craig's been to 2 Sweet 16s in his first 2 years, and you know he's going to do a great job here. He's been very, very successful. But you know, Frank's is a great story. You know, just because a lot of times in recruiting, like, you know, it's the guys that get all the attention when they're 17 or 18, and that's just the way it's going to be. You know, you can't keep improving when you're 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, and he's a classic example of that, kind of an example for their program. You know, so it's great to see them on.